Mike's Thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, football fans across the country, I hate to break it to you. I hate to break this to you right now, but the end of the era is upon us. 8 hours of commercial-free football on Sundays is officially over. Come back to us, please. I'm lost for words. Guys, that sacred window, that beautiful block of uninterrupted red zone action where we would bounce from game to game, touchdown to touchdown, no breaks, no nonsense, is now in jeopardy. And you could thank everything to ESPN for that. Guys, this week, ESPN has announced a massive acquisition that just happened, right? They are not only just picking up the rights or license to absorb the NFL red zone, they're absorbing the NFL network as a whole. They are folding the NFL's fantasy football platform, and they're going to all underneath the Disney umbrella. Now, listen, I get it. On paper, it sounds like innovation, right? ESPN chairman called it a premier destination for all football fans. Disney's CEO says the deal will expand the brand and the value propositions of this NFL network, the streaming empire per se. But let me translate for you in corporate speak. You're going to pay more. You're going to get less, and those 8 hours of interrupted pure football, say goodbye. Because while they'll technically keep the red zone brand alive, don't be fooled. The writing is on the wall. ESPN now owns the linear rights. That means commercials are coming, and they'll disguise it as an enhanced coverage or an exclusive content, but in reality, it's just another revenue stream. Gone are the days of flipping on red zone at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and not blinking until 8 p.m. Gone are the Sundays of Scott Hansen or whoever's next delivering 50 touchdowns without a single commercial break. Now, you'll be bounced from one sponsor segment to another. Halftime shows filled with ads, breaks between games, pushing ESPN Plus bundles and Disney Plus bundles crossovers. Let's just be honest. And don't even get me started about the $29.99 month streaming service. If you want to keep up, you better pony up. And even then, you're not guaranteed the same quality, the same consistency, or the same purity we've come to love about the NFL Red Zone. What it is, at its core, is corporatization of football's latest untouchable treasure. Red Zone fans of the channel, it was built for us. The diehards who didn't fluff, didn't want the drama, just action, just the football, and now it's being into a product, a bundle, and an asset. And the NFL, they're smiling all the way to the bank. They just took a 10% equity stake into ESPN. They're licensing their own content to the highest bidder, and they're calling it a greater convenience of quality. But the only thing convenient here is the profit. Guys, here's the truth. This isn't process. This isn't erosion. This is just another step turning Sundays into a subscription menu where every piece of the game is sliced up and sold off. It's a loss for fans. It's a loss for football experience. And reminder that even the purest thing in sports is now for sale. So enjoy the season while you can, because next, the beloved commercial-free red zone experience may not be a thing of the memory. Now, let me ask you this. Is this the future that you want? Is this the football that you want? Or is it all just love and games at the end of the day? Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw. Steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off. Get it hype, this man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman. Everybody bringing heat. You don't really want to try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation? Welcome to Man Hour NFL Talk, guys. Your go-to spot for live raw, uncut NFL talk. I'm so glad you're with us here today. Before you dive into the Action Days, guys, head over to manhourradio.com. That's where you can have all your exclusive merchandise. Check out the latest blogs and stay up to everything what we're doing over there at Man Hour Radio. That is the place to do it. Do not forget to hit the like button, hit the share button, and don't be a hoe and subscribe to the channel as well. It's the best way to stay connected with us and to make sure you never miss a live, interactive show right here at 9 p.m. East Coast time. But wait, there is even more. If you want to become a Pigskin Punny, guys, that's our members-only community where you get free entry to all of our weekly NFL pick'ems, giveaways, and of course, exclusive merchandise as well. You get access to the extra live streams that only our Pigskin Punnies get. So if you want that full man-hour experience, guys, sign up for the squad today. Now remember, this is a live interactive show, so make sure you comment down below. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your thoughts, your opinions, and the hottest of the hottest takes. We're all about that conversation. Before we get too carried away, we got to welcome some people in the chat. We got to welcome my man Derek into the chat. What is good, Derek? What's up? What's up? Hope you had a good old day, man. And he says 2 games, game on. 2 days until game on, baby. That's right, Cup. Week officially 1 of the NFL preseason, guys, starts Thursday. Well, we got the Colts, we got the Ravens, we got the Eagles, we got the Seahawks, we got the Raiders, all playing on that Thursday night game. There's another team that I'm missing. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yes, NFL preseason does start next Thursday, and then Friday, and then Sunday, and then of course we go on to week 2, and then week 3, potentially week 4, and then bada bing, bada boom. First week of September, NFL season is here. So what's up going down, Derek? Hope you having a good rant all day. Then we got my man Alpha Rob in the chat today as well. What is up, Alpha Rob? Alpha Rob is a top fan over there at youtube.com/manhour, guys. So it'd be like Alpha Rob and get those comments and you get some points, and bada bing, bada boom, you become a top fan. But the guys, today, we're breaking down the NFC East. We have done all the AFC. We've done the AFC East. We've done the AFC West, the best division in football. We've done the AFC North and the AFC South. And now it's time to do the NFC. Now it is time to do arguably the best NFC division in football, and that is the NFC East, guys. We are going to put some numbers next to the wins. We're going to put some numbers next to the losses, and we're going to give you the win-loss predictions for the Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Washington Commanders, and of course, the New York Giants. Put some respect on their name. But guys, we have to start at the top. We have to start at the top with arguably the best team in the division. The best team in the division, in my opinion, is the Washington Commanders. And I feel like they're one of the most slept on teams in the entire NFL heading into the 2025 NFL season. And I'm telling you right now, guys, this current is going to continue to turn heads. Last year was no fluke. Last year was their foundation being built, and they are going to the moon, baby. Put some respect on their name. Guys, Jayden Daniels is entering in his 2nd year. Brian Robertson is running with a purpose, and that defense gets meaner and meaner each and every week, each and every practice. And do not forget that Dan Quinn is in his 2nd year as a head coach, and this team is no longer in rebuild. Guys, they are complete, and they are ready to make a Super Bowl run. With that being said, guys, let's go week by week and break it down how I see the Washington Commanders navigating through the 2025 NFL schedule. Now, weeks 1 through 3, guys, weeks 1, 2, and 3, I think they're going to start fast, and I think they're going to start furious, right? Because week 1, they're at home taking on division foe, the New York Giants. Do not be sleeping on the New York Giants. I just want to put that out there right there. The Giants are going to turn some heads, but not week 1, because the Washington Commanders open up that season strong at home. Jayden Daniels starts hot. That defense flies around, and they handle the Giants with ease. Do not get it twisted. The Giants are still good, but the Commanders are just that much better week 1, giving them the win over the New York Football Giants. But week 2, this one stings. This one stings a little bit. It's a tough game on the road when they travel to Green Bay to take on the Green Bay Packers, and they come up just a wee bit short. A few missed opportunities and a couple second-year mistakes for Jayden Daniels equals a loss, and the Green Bay Packers do start hot. But the Commanders do start the season off 1-1. Give us a back at home, week 3. They get back in rhythm, and they take on the Las Vegas Raiders. Guys, the Raiders defense has no answer. Jayden Daniels flashes those elite traits yet again, and he continues to ascend to be a top 5 quarterback, if not a top 3 quarterback in the NFL, giving them a 2-1 start in the first quarter of the season. So guys, weeks 1 through 3, I have them at a 2-1 start. Solid opening stretch, right? They did drop a tough one at Lambeau, but otherwise, Jayden Daniels looks composed, the offense looks balanced, and the defense is swarming. Everything is on schedule. But then weeks 4 through 7. Weeks 4 foot 7, put a stamp on the Washington Commanders' name because this is a statement stretch. This is where they become the best team in the NFC. This is where they become the Super Bowl favorites. This is where they become the hunted, no longer the hunter, right? Week number 4, they travel down to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. This is a win. They go on the road and they dominate the Atlanta Falcons. Jayden Daniels continues to grow and the running game is starting to click as well. The Commanders are looking like a very, very good team, carrying it to week 5, back on the road when they travel to LA to take on the Chargers. This is yet another huge road win. The Commanders' defense rattles Justin Herbert, and Jayden Daniels outshines in a back-and-forth shootout, but they get another win. Then week 6, they're back at home. Do you guys remember week 6, week 7 last year? Hail Mary, the Chicago Bears, right? The Chicago Bears were at Washington, D.C., or Hanover, Maryland, and Hail Mary, whatever, yada. Well, guess what? That doesn't happen again. The Bears come out flat. The Washington Commanders step on their throats early, and it's a total team win. This game is over by mid-second quarter. It is a dominating win, and they continue on to week 7. They're back on the road yet again. But this is where the NFL starts to take notice. This is where the NFL is like, oh, shit. Washington Commanders, we see you, because they travel to Dallas, and they get the road win in Dallas. Another divisional win on the road for the Washington Commanders. Jayden Daniels outplays the Cowboys, and the Commanders are starting to turn the heads. Sitting at 6-1 after the first 7 weeks, guys, they have won 4 straight, including 3 road games, and a massive win against the Dallas Cowboys. The defense is top 10. The offense is top 10. Jayden Daniels is playing like a veteran, even though it's a rookie year. He is the top 5 quarterback. This team is for real. But then the real test began. Weeks 8, 9, 10, 11, they have tough stretches. And it starts at Arrowhead Stadium at week 8 when they travel to Kansas City to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Arrowhead is unforgivable. Mahomes puts on gets rolling yet again. Week number 10, they're back at home, taking on arguably another top team in the NFC in the Detroit Lions. The Lions come in with that gritty Dan Campbell mindset and punch the Washington Commanders in the mouth. They want that revenge from playoffs from last season. This one could have gone either way, but I think the Detroit Lions win it in the trenches, giving the Commanders a loss. And then week number 11, this international trap game BS, right? Commanders travel over the pond to Spain to take on the Miami Dolphins. But however, I think it's an international game. I think it's a veteran team. I think it is no problem. Washington travels better than Miami and handles business and get back on track. So guys, right now they're 8-3 heading into the bye week. They have faced the top teams in the NFL, and they've held their own, right? Versus the Dallas Cowboys, versus the Detroit Lions, versus the Kansas City Chiefs. They're very, very well battle-tested, and Jayden Daniels keeps growing, and this defense keeps making timely plays. They're just not playoff bound. They're poising for a deep, deep run. And weeks 12 through 18, guys, they finish strong, and the NFC East, they make a statement. Like I said, week 12 is their bye week. They might be a little banged up. They need rest, jet lag, whatever. But the final push is here because week 13, they're back at home, taking on the Denver Broncos. Fresh off the bye, playing at home. That is a dub, baby. Washington Commanders on both sides of the ball dominate the not-so-good Denver Broncos. Let's just be honest about it. Week 14, they're back on the road, taking on another NFC North team in the Minnesota Vikings. Tough environment, but the Commanders go into Minnesota, and they steal this one. Clutch win that proves that they can win close games out late and close out games late, I should say. Week 15. This, however, is a trap game. They travel back to New York to take on the Giants. Trap game, divisional game on the road. They're never easy. And the Giants make them pay for some sloppy plays early. And the Giants take advantage. Bada bing, bada boom. The Commanders finally get a loss of the season. However, week 16 does them no favors. They're back at home, playing a physical playoff-style type of fight versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Eagles edge this one out in the fourth quarter on the road, Washington plays hard, but not clean enough, giving them a straight second loss in a row. However, Week 17, they're back at home. Here it is again. The Dallas Cowboys. The sweep is on, baby. Washington Commanders finishes the season over the Dallas Cowboys 2-0 and sweeping them and silence any critics that they have left. They are the real deal. Put some respect on their name, baby. And then week number 18, they traveled to Philadelphia, and the Philadelphians might be fighting for their lives right now. This is going to be a default NFC East championship game, I feel, but the Washington Commanders close out the season strong. Another road win in the division to cap off an impressive year with the win over the Philadelphia Eagles, giving them a 12-5 overall record, 5-1 in the NFC East. You heard it here first here, guys. They're sweeping the Cowboys. They're splitting with the Eagles, and Washington finish off hot. Jayden Daniels proves he is that guy. Jayden Daniels proves he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Guys, 2 months ago, I had them pegged about an 11-win team. But after seeing the full body of work, OTAs, training camp, whatever, yada, 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 I'm calling it now 12 wins, 5-1 in the NFC East. They are a real threat to win a playoff game or 2 or 3, if not potentially floor, right? However, the floor for this team is 9 wins. But if the team just pulls one of those upsets versus the Packers, Chiefs, or Lions, they're staring down a 13-14 win ceiling. That's how much upside this roster has underneath Dan Quinn and Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels is the real deal. But guys, in the comments down below, do you guys have the Washington Commanders hitting 12 wins? Or do you see even more upside for the season, or if not so upside? Guys, subscribe, hit the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com/manhour. Now, this is a live interactive show, so comment down below, and let's get into your comments. Cushmaster is in the chat. He says, let's go Giants. Let's go. Slow it down, baby. Cush, the Giants are going to be good. They're going to be slept on. I think they split with the Washington Commanders. Alpha Rob says they'll be 10-7. They're not sneaking up on no one. One defense still shakily with Von Miller. Listen, Alpha Rob, Von Miller does not make this defense better. You are 100% correct. However, you know who does make this defense better? It's the veteran leadership of Bobby Wagner. It's the trade that they made last season for the Saints guy. Why is his name slipping my mind right now? Is it? You guys knew who I'm talking about. Safety that was hurt for about 3 weeks, played 2 games. Yeah, he is going to make a difference. Dan Quinn is going to make a difference. As much as I don't like Dan Quinn as a head coach, he is a hell of a defensive schemer. He is a hell of a defensive coordinator. He is going to rally up that defense and play good football. Sadie Joycelyn is in the chat. What's up, Sadie? See, she says, I think the Chiefs will win the Super Bowl this season. Sadie? I'm with you, baby. I'm with you, baby, but slow it down. Slow it down, baby. Slow it down. Slow it down. And she says Saquon Barkley is probably the 2 or the 3rd best player in the entire NFL right now. We'll talk about Saquon Barkley. And now for up says, P.S. guys. P.S. I still hate the name Commanders. It's the Commander skins, right? It's the Commander skins. But Alpha Rob has them going 10-7. Cushmaster saying, let's go Giants. Sadie, what do you have the Commanders going? Derek? Rest of you people out there? Jim, John? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What are the Washington Commanders going to do in 2025? All right, guys, let's move on to arguably, not arguably, but the best team in the entire NFL, and that is the Dallas Cowboys. Put some respect on their name, baby. But just remember, guys, 2 months ago, I had the Dallas Cowboys pegged as an 11-win team. That prediction still stands. But here's the kicker. I think they actually might be better without Micah Parsons. Yeah, I said it. If Micah Parsons is moved, traded, or doesn't suit up, this locker room might finally grow up. Brian Schottenheimer might finally shape his team into a real contender. Now, before you all go to the comments and start firing out, let's break down the 25 schedule week by week. And I'll give you 4 recaps along the way to check out the pulse to see if the season is unfolding. But I'm telling you guys, if the Dallas Cowboys trade Micah Parsons, release them, whatever, yada, yada, yada. This 11 wins could easily be 13 or 14. Addition by subtraction. Addition by subtraction. But let's go ahead and go down to week 1. Weeks 1 through 4, guys, I am going to label this as a strong statement start. This is the staple of their season. They're going to be strong, hard-nosed football. Week number 1, opening day. They take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Not only do they take on the Philadelphia Eagles, they take on this Super Bowl defending Super Bowl Eagles at Philadelphia. Brian Schottenheimer gets his first win in first statement win as the Dallas Cowboys head coach. They march into Philly and they shock not only the entire NFC East, they shock the entire NFL. The defense forces turnovers. Dak Prescott is clean and is a huge tone setter for the Dallas Cowboys when they go into Philly and they get that week 1 win. Week number 2, nice long vacation, 10 days off. They come back home and they welcome the New York Football Giants into town. Division rival home opener. Guys, the Giants are rebuilding. They're still pretty good. But the Dallas Cowboys control all 4 quarters, and this one isn't close. The Dallas Cowboys continue their winning ways and smack that ass, baby, starting them off 2-0, not only for the season, but 2-0 in the NFC East. They are the real deal. However, week 3, trap game. Traveling to Chicago, they're on highs right now. They've beaten the Philadelphia Eagles. They've beaten the New York Giants. When they travel to Chicago and they're sleepwalk through the first half and the Bears steal one. Dallas takes his foot off the gas and pays for it with their first loss of the season. And then week number 4, they're back at home, take on the Green Bay Packers. They bounce back in a big, big way. Dak picks apart the Green Bay Packers secondary. Jordan Love can't match the big game intensity. It is a big-time turnaround. This game is over by halftime, and bada bing, bada boom, guys, the Dallas Cowboys are 3-1 for the first 4 weeks of the NFL season. They're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but they are impressive. A division win in Philly, 2 solid home victories, and 1 early season wake-up call in Chicago. Brian Schottenheimer's got his team looking focused and physical. Micah Parsons or not, they're playing with edge, and they are a hot money. Play with house money at this time. And then weeks 5 through 8, guys, they build the midseason momentum. They keep building, and they keep that track on rolling. Because week number 5, they head over to New York. They take on the New York Jets. A tough road trip, but the Jets just don't have the firepower. The Cowboys defense front dominates, and the offense does just enough to win ugly. Maybe 13-12, 17-14, that type of score. Very low scoring, very not fun to watch. Week number 6, back on the road yet again, taking on the Carolina Panthers, and yes, another road win. Carolina cannot slow down the Dallas Cowboys running game, or contain CeeDee Lamb, or contain George Pickens, right? Dallas Cowboys look solid, but this is a game from start to finish where the Dallas Cowboys just dominate. This game's over by halftime. Yet another one. Week number 7. Here's the bump in the road. Back at home, take on a very, very good Washington Commanders team. Washington comes into Dallas and they steal one. Jayden Daniels outshines Dak, and this defense struggles to contain his mobility. It's a measuring stick game, and the Dallas Cowboys fall short. However, short memory when it comes to week 8 because they're back on the road, take on the Denver Broncos. The Dallas Cowboys rebound with a solid win on the road in Denver. They dominate Sean Payton's offense and move to 6-2 at the midway point of the NFL season. This is exactly where they want to be. They've taken care of business on the road, and they've shown that they can handle adversity. That week 7 loss still stings, still sucks, but it might be the light. It will be the light that fires this team lead heading off the back half. This team has playoff energy. This team is hot. This team is ready to be going to the moon, baby. However, week 9 through 12, they hit a little bit of skid. They hit a little bit of a rough week. Week 9, they play the Arizona Cardinals. It's a routine win. Arizona Cardinals are going to be much improved, but they're outmatched. Dallas Cowboys handles this one early. Week 10, perfect timing, rest up, bye week. Get ready for the toughest stretch of the season because it does not get easy. Week 11, fresh off the bye, on the road in Las Vegas, taking on the Raiders. This one's brutal. The Raiders are physical and they're aggressive and they're smash mouth and they smash Dallas Cowboys in the mouth. Dallas Cowboys looks out of rhythm after the bye. The Vegas wins in the trenches. Give the Vegas Raiders the win. Week number 12, they're back at home. Philly wants the revenge. It is a slugfest. Jalen Hurts makes one more play than Dak Prescott, and the Eagles walk out of AT&T Stadium with the dub. So, guys, right now, heading into December, the Dallas Cowboys are 7-4. After a red-hot start, the hottest team in the NFL, Super Bowl bound team, they start to cool off a little bit. 2 losses in the last 3 games after the bye exposed some cracks in the armor. They're still in a great position, but the pressure is still on. These next few games will define the season. And weeks 13 through 18, that's exactly what they do. They are defining the finish. Week 13, at home, taking on the Kansas City Chiefs on Thanksgiving. Here's the win that nobody sees coming. Dallas Cowboys stun Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes in prime time. Thanksgiving Day, the defense shows up big. This win puts them back on the map. Week 14, however, another Thursday night game at Detroit. They run into a buzzsaw in Detroit. The Lions are fighting for NFC East supremacy at this point, and the Dallas Cowboys just can't match that intensity on the road. Dan Campbell's True takes care of business. Week 15, back at home, and back to doing what they do best. A complete team win over the Minnesota Vikings. It's a balanced offense, sound defense. The Vikings just don't have firepower, and we're seeing J.J. McCarthy just not be very good. Let's just be honest. But then week 17, they're back on the road, and the Washington Commanders complete the sweep. They just don't match up well. The Cowboys just do not match well up against this Commanders team. Jayden Daniels has their number. A very disappointing loss. But then week 18, they're back on the road, take on the New York Football Giants, but they do finish the season strong. Business trip to New York, no drama. They handle the Giants, close out the season 11-6. So, guys, I have them finishing 11-6, 3-3 in the NFC East. Same win total I gave them 2 months ago. And I still believe that the floor is 9 for this team and the ceiling's about 12. They will have a tough time getting past the Commanders, Eagles, and maybe even the Kansas City Chiefs. But if they face them again in the playoffs, they'll do just fine. This team can make a Super Bowl push. And yes, they might be better without Micah Parsons. Addition by subtraction. Time to build a real team, not a highlight reel. So, guys, I do have the Dallas Cowboys going 11-6, playoff down team, not dominant by any stretch of the imagination, but they're dangerous. And if Schottenheimer finds the right identity, this team could absolutely make noise into January, into February. So, guys, in the comments below, will the Cowboys finally get over this hump this season, or are they setting us up for another postseason letdown? Subscribe, hit the like button. Remember, guys, we are live Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. East Coast time, right here at youtube.com/manhour. This is a live interactive show, so comment down below. So let's get into your comments and discuss your thoughts. Casey Morgan's in the chat. Casey's a pigskin opponent. What's up, Casey?
Get you some.
Casey says, Cowboys will never win a Super Bowl with Dak. That's tough, man. Come on. Give Dak Prescott some love. Dak Prescott's only a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. He might be a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. Dak Prescott has not gotten his flowers that he much deserves. Dak Prescott is the real deal. Stop sleeping on the man. Derek says 11-6 for the Dallas Cowboys. That's where I got him at, Derek. Were you reading my notes, man? 11-6. Listen, the Dallas Cowboys have a lot of winnable games. They have a lot of winnable games. And if they can definitely win a game versus the Commanders, potentially beat the Detroit Lions, guys, we're looking at a 13, 14, 15 win team here easily. 11 is just about right, Derek, I think. But I think like Sadie says the Cowboys will go 10-7. You know what? I don't hate it. I don't hate the 10-7 because the week 1 win, sorry about that. The week 1 win versus the Philadelphia Eagles, the Eagles should win that game. They should. However, we know the hype of getting the rings and the opening night and all the ceremonies and stuff, whatever. It is tough. It is tough. And you're playing the Dallas Cowboys. It's just it is tough. We've seen the Kansas City Chiefs. lose their opening night versus the Detroit Lions a couple years ago. What'd they do? Went on and win the Super Bowl. Now, I'm not saying the Eagles are going to lose opening night and then go on and win the Super Bowl, but they're a very, very good team, and they definitely can. Definitely can. Derek says, can their coach coach? We will see. Listen, we know very, very little about Brian Schottenheimer. Me, personally, I know very, very little about him. But he has the pedigree. We have the pedigree, right? It is what it is, and Sadie's already calling out Derek, waffling around. Derek says, you got a great team, but can he be the super glue that holds them strong? Meaning the coach? Listen, Brian Schottenheimer is 150% the fall guy. Brian Schottenheimer is set up for failure this season. Because, hear me out. If Brian Schottenheimer goes 3-14, 4-13, they are a losing team. They're a top 10 draft pick. Jerry Jones is going to spin it like, you know what? He was just a placeholder. I really wanted Coach Prime, but he wasn't ready to come because he didn't know where sons were coming, yada, yada, yada. Now I can fire him. Now I can go get Coach Prime and do this, this, and this. On the flip side, if Brian Schottenheimer does become a 11, 12, 13, 14 win team, gets the Dallas Cowboys to the Super Bowl in his first year, maybe not necessarily win a game, but is competitive in that wild card game, Jerry Jones will be like, I knew he was right, the guy all along. Brian Schottenheimer's in a lose-lose situation. If you lose, I knew you were going to lose. If you win, you won because I hired you. It is very, very tough. Alpha Rob says 11-6. Offense should be a little bit better with George Pickens. A little bit better. You're right, Alpha Rob. You are right. The Dallas Cowboys offense will be a little bit better because they were a top 10 offense a couple years ago. When Dak Prescott plays over 70% of the games, the Dallas Cowboys are a top 10 offense. They're also a playoff bound team. So yes, they will be a little bit better because you can only go up so high. You can go from about 7 to about 5, right? Just a little bit better. Just a little bit better. Derek says maybe 10 wins, probably 8. I just don't see them pulling it off ahead of George Pickens being a diva. And Derek, this is where your waffling situation comes in. Sadie called you directly out. Don't waffle around. Because 10 wins is a pretty good season. Let's just be honest. 10 wins is a good season. 10 wins probably puts you in the playoffs. 10 wins could potentially, keep your coach's job. 8 wins is a losing season. 8 wins is a top 15 pick. 8 wins is potentially getting Brian Schottenheimer fired. So 10 to 8 is that wide range. Now, it may not seem like a wide range, right? But 10 is a playoff team. 8 wins is a losing season. That's the definition of waffling, baby. Derek says, you're right about Parsons. He's small and not good against the run. He gets pushed around. And buy or sell, we are going to talk a lot about Micah Parsons. I just want you to let you guys know. But I think the Dallas Cowboys are better without Micah Parsons. Addition by subtraction, just like the Kansas City Chiefs were a couple years ago. Traded Tyreek Hill. Oh, the world's falling down. Super Bowl, baby. Not 1, not 2, but 3 of them. 3 in 4 years. Slow it down. And 11-6 for the Redskins. Commander skins. It is what it is. All right, guys, so let's move on to the Philadelphia Eagles. Guys, for some reason right now, the 2025 Philadelphia Eagles are kind of flying under the radar. And honestly, that's exactly where they want to be. However, I don't understand how they're flying under the radar. They are the defending Super Bowl champs. The linebacker, whoever he was, can say, we don't want to be called defending Super Bowl champions. We were the 2025 Super Bowl champions, and now we're going on to 2026. You are the defending Super Bowl champions. Shut your mouth and just whatever, right? And people are writing off Jalen Hurts as well. The media is chasing headlines in Dallas, the nation's capital. But I'm telling you right now, guys, the Philadelphia Eagles are a very, very dangerous team. Matter of fact, they are the most dangerous team in all of NFL. They've got one of the most physical lines in football. They got veteran leadership, and one of the most battle-tested quarterbacks in the entire league. Let's break down their schedule, guys, week by week, and I'll give you the recaps and the pulse of the season as it unfolds. With that being said, guys, weeks 1 through 4, I am labeling the inconsistent but potential shows, right? Inconsistent start, but the potential is there. We are going to see the potential early with the Philadelphia Eagles. And week 1, NFL opening night, Dallas Cowboys, Thursday Night Football. They come into town. This is a tough one right out the gate. And at home, big expectations, but the Dallas Cowboys punches first. Hurts struggles under the pressure, and the Philadelphia Eagles start the season off 0-1. The fans are getting nervous. The media is getting nervous. Oh, they're going to be blunder fire this year. Guys, actually, this is exactly what the Philadelphia Eagles want. Because the last time they went to the Super Bowl, yes, they lost the Super Bowl, but the last time they went there, the following year, they started 11-0. And then the wheels fell off the wagon. Let's start off rough. Let's start off rough, then fine-tune it again, right? And then week number 2, they travel to Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. And here's where they bounce back in a huge, huge way. Not only do they go into Arrowhead Stadium and stun Patrick Mahomes, they dominate the Kansas City Chiefs, and it is a statement win, and it resets the tone for the rest of the season. We are quickly talking about how good the Philadelphia Eagles are again. We are quickly talking about Super Bowl bound. We're quickly talking about a repeat Super Bowl champion for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it carries on into week 3 when they're back at home taking on the LA Rams. Back in Philly, back in control. The defense stiffens up. The Rams passing attack sucks, and Jalen Hurts gets it done with his legs and his arm. It is a nice, clean, dominant win. Now, week number 4, they play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The kryptonite of the Philadelphia Eagles is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not only are they playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs are tougher than expected. The Philadelphia Eagles get caught looking ahead, sloppy execution, costly turnovers, in a game they should have won. They let slip away, giving them 2-2 start through the first 4 weeks of the NFL season. Up and down start. You beat the Kansas City Chiefs on the road, but then you drop winnable games to Dallas and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Still, this team has shown flashes of playoff toughness. They've shown flashes that they can repeat. They just need to be a little bit more consistent. In weeks 5 through 8, guys, this is where they turn the corner. Week 5, back at home, and they handle business. They dominate the Denver Broncos. The Broncos cannot protect the passer. They cannot get a rushing attack going. The defensive line eats all game long. They're not even going to send pressure. They're going to send 4 guys, and Bo Nix is going to get sacked at least 6 times. It's a dominating win over the Denver Broncos. And then week 6, short work week, division rival playing the New York Football Giants. Road divisional game, classic Thursday night trap. The Giants steal this one late, and the Philly fans are getting frustrated yet again. Once again, consistency is the big note here. But after a very disappointing loss to the New York Football Giants, they get 10 days off. Week 7, they do travel to Minnesota. Jalen Hurts bounces back in a strong offensive performance. The defense steps up in the red zone, and the Philly controls the clock weight, getting a gritty win over the Minnesota Vikings at Minnesota. Then week number 8, they play back-to-back games versus the New York Football Giants. I know it's not back-to-back, 2 games in 2 times in 3 weeks or whatever. It's dumb. Either way, they get the revenge. They get the revenge at home with the extra rest. They dominate the Giants. It is not even close this time. They are 5-3 heading into the bye week, right where they want to be. They've taken care of business in the NFC East. Still a few frustrating losses on the road, but the defense is heating up. Jalen Hurts is heating up, and this team is starting to click. Watch out, because weeks 9 through 13, they are in peak mid-season form. Fresh off the bye week, heading into week 10, they head into Lambeau to take on the Green Bay Packers. Cold weather, road game, Philly doesn't blink. Hurts outplays Jordan Love, and the defense makes key stops late, getting a huge road win over the Green Bay Packers. Week 11, that momentum carries. Detroit Lions come into town, and this one's personal. This one's personal, guys. The Philly plays with a chip on his shoulder, and they win in the trenches. It's a huge statement win. Super Bowl bound Philadelphia Eagles put some respect on their name. Week 12, they traveled down to Dallas to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Circle this one, guys. Primetime revenge game in Dallas. Hurts silenced the crowd with the masterclass performance. This one flips the narrative. Super Bowl bound, baby. Week 13, back at home, taking on the Chicago Bears. No letdown. The Philadelphia Eagles cruise past the Chicago Bears. Offense keeps clicking, and the defense dominates on third down, a.k.a. the Bears suck. Imagine that. So after the 13 weeks, guys, they're 9-3. They rattled off 4 straight wins, and they swept 2 playoff contenders. This stretch right here is what defines Philadelphia Eagles' identity. Physical, battle-tested, and playoff ready. However, weeks 14 through 18, they kind of take their foot off the gas like a little bit. They slip up a few games, but they're still very, very dangerous. And it starts with the Monday Night Football game in week 14 when they travel to LA to take on the Chargers. This is a tough Monday night game on the road. Justin Herbert get hot just enough, and the Philadelphia secondary cannot slow him down. The offense stalls late. Week 15, back at home. A bounce-back win at home versus Las Vegas Raiders. It is a controlled win. Raiders keep it close, but Hurts and the run game take over in the second half. Week 16, on the road, taking on the Washington Commanders. A massive road win. They finally saw the Jayden Daniels and beat the Washington Commanders on their own turf. Defense plays its best game of the season. Matter of fact, I think they shut out the Washington Commanders in this Week 16 game. Week 17, however, they travel to Buffalo. An ugly, cold, physical game. Buffalo Bills own the time of possession. Josh Allen takes over the entire game, and the Philadelphia Eagles lose a tight one. Not the worst loss, but a very, very missed opportunity and a very, very real Super Bowl preview. And then week 18, they're back at home, playoff seeding on the line, and the Washington Commanders spoils it, right? Jayden Daniels sweep the season series, and the Philadelphia Eagles stumble into the postseason. Guys, I think the Eagles will finish 11-6, 4-2 in the NFC East. This team is not fading. They're just taking some late hits against quality opponents. That week 18 loss hurts, but the body of work is still strong. Wins over the Chiefs, Cowboys, Lions, and the Packers prove that they are still contenders. So, guys, like I said, I do have them 11-6. I think their floor is 9 if injuries stack up. The ceiling, it is 12. If they can clean up the sloppy losses and they find a way to beat the Washington, sweep the Dallas Cowboys, and clean up fourth quarter division-making, Super Bowl talk is absolutely back on the table. So, guys, in the comments below, do you think this Eagle teams can make another Super Bowl run, or are they a wild card team at best in 2025? Guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. East Coast time, right here on said platform. Sadie, the Eagles 12-5. 12, I mean, so there's a big difference between 8 and 10, right? Losing, winning. 11-12, that is a ball bouncing one way or the other. That is a blocked field goal. That is a late game interception, right? 11-12 wins. Sadie, I think we're kind of right there on the same page. I think the Eagles are a pretty good team. Alpha Rob says they'll be 12-5. They're still good, but not as dominant. I don't think Saquon Barkley gets 2,000 yards. I think so. Alpha Rob, I think you are exactly right. Matter of fact, let me go out on a limb and say Saquon Barkley won't get 1,300 yards this season. He will be another average back at best. They might even deploy the 2-back system mid-season with the Philadelphia Eagles to kind of save Saquon Barkley for the playoffs. But we'll see. We'll see. Derek says the tush push for 22 touchdowns. Other teams are going to perform. Also take those close wins. So, Derek, where do you have them? Do you have them as a 9-win team? 7-win team? Where do you have them? Sadie says the Broncos have an elite defense. Sadie, the Broncos had an elite defense. Yes, they brought in some key parts. They brought in Greenlaw from the 49ers. He is now injured. If you go to our 24/7 channel page here on youtube.com/man-hours Sadie, you will see pretty much every other slide. Denver Broncos defense injury. Denver Broncos defense injury. Their defensive injuries are getting piling up. Yes, I know it's training camp. I know it's August. However, in that same breath, it is August. We are 4 weeks away from the NFL season. We are 30 some odd days from the NFL season. It is getting close. So these injuries keep piling up. All of a sudden, the Broncos start 0-2, 0-3, 0-4, and their defense isn't playing up to par. Now they will get healthy. They will get better. But I think that elite defense was a fluke. But we'll see. Derek has the Eagles sitting at 9-8. 9-8. That is tough, Derek. Now, I do have their floor as 9. Right? I think they'll be a winning team. I think they will still be competitive. I still think they're a playoff team, even at 9 wins. But seeing the Eagles at 9-8, that is tough pill to swallow if you were an Eagles fan. But guys, what do you have them? Philadelphia Eagles in 2025. Let's move on to the New York Football Giants. Guys, flashback to 2 months ago. I had the Giants pegged as an 8-win team. But let's just be 100% honest. Let's be real. Let's cut through the fluff. I was not sold on Russell Wilson then, and I'm still the hell not sold on him now. I do not like Russell Wilson on the Giants football team. This team is either going to turn the corner or fall off the cliff. There is no middle ground for Russell Wilson, that is. Brian Daboll's seat is on fire, and if it's not, the Giants are stupid. And if this team starts sliding early, I expect Jackson Dart to get the call. The rookie has all the tools, the swagger, and the support from inside that locker room. And Brian Daboll's going to need a fall guy if they do go 4, 5, 6 wins this season. But guys, let's break it down week by week to gauge how the clarity is coming in out of New York this season. Now, when you look at the New York Football Giants, guys, the first 4 weeks of the NFL season, they are going to start slow. But they're going to get a big upset that's going to turn some heads real quick. However, on the flip side of that, we have to start by week 1. And week 1, they do travel to Washington to take on the Commanders. Commander-skins, Redskins, football team, Red Tail, whatever you want to call them. The Washington football team. Jayden Daniels is too much for the Giants. Washington defense pressures Russ all game long. Brian Daboll is already looking stressed. Brian Daboll's cheeks are already bright ash red. Brian Daboll is losing any hair that he has left. And then week number 2, they're back on the road yet again. Back-to-back road games to start the season. They take on the Dallas Cowboys and the NFC East yet again. Another tough road game, and Dak shreds the secondary. And the Giants start the season off 0-2. Not the start that Brian Daboll needs. However, this is the start that the New York Giants fans should want. This is the start that they should want, because the more games you lose early, the faster you get Jackson Dart in there. But guess what? Week 3, they're back at home. Home opener. And what? Yep, this is a huge upset. This one shocks the entire NFL landscape, because when the Kansas City Chiefs come into town, they get that dub. The defense plays lights out. That front 7 for the Giants looks dominant. The defense plays lights out. Mahomes looks frustrated, and Russ puts it together for a vintage performance. Season-saving win, at least for now, for Russell Wilson. But then week number 4, the roller coaster dips again. Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers have their way, and the offense for the Giants stalls out. The post-Kansas City Chiefs hangover is real. So, guys, they're starting the season off 1-3. 1-3. They do have a headline-grabbing win, but it doesn't hide the truth. The offense lacks identity. Brian Daboll's seat is heating up, and the whispers of Jackson Dart have already started. Matter of fact, they're starting to get very, very loud. Fire Daboll, put Jackson Dart in there. We're hearing it and hearing it and hearing it. And then weeks 5 through 8. Weeks 5 through 8, this is where the Giants hit rock bottom. Because week 5, they travel to New Orleans to take on a very, very bad New Orleans Saints team. Now, it is a tough road environment. Rush looks like a shell again. No rhythm, no momentum, and the Saints capitalize, giving the Giants the 4th loss of the season. And this is when we see Jackson Dart. This is when Jackson Dart comes in. Week number 6 at home, taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Not an ideal start for Jackson Dart, let's just be honest. Playing arguably one of the best defenses in the NFL as a rookie, as your first start. But here's a spark. At home, divisional game. It's a Thursday night game, and somehow the Giants rally just enough. Defense makes Hurts uncomfortable and pulls off the upset. Feels like another... This is the catapult that Jackson Dart needs. Come in, beat the Philadelphia Eagles, start off 1-0 on a short work week on a Thursday. But week number 7, they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. Jackson Dart does not start. He came in at halftime during week 6, routed them to a win. But Russ wants to face his former team. Russ wants to return to Denver, but he gets booed off the field. It's ugly. Guys, the Broncos dominate both lines of scrimmage. It's an embarrassing showing. It's just why is Russ even in there? Then week number 8, they're back on the road yet again, taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Back-to-back road games, back-to-back road losses, and the Philadelphia Eagles get the revenge. It's never even close. Offensive line collapses, and Dayball looks lost. So, guys, heading into week 9, they are 2-6. This is the breaking point. The Eagles blow you out. Russell Wilson looks done, and if Dayball doesn't make a move soon, someone else will. At this point, the calls for Jackson Dart are deafening. But week 9 through 13, does the Jackson Dart era begin? The turnaround sparks. And yes, Jackson Dart, week 9, he does get the first official start. His second official start against the San Francisco 49ers. Yet another dominating defense. And this is it. Russell Wilson gets benched. Jackson Dart is in. And it feels like Dart sees it. Guys, basically the Giants stunned the San Francisco 49ers with explosive plays and energy that they haven't shown all year long. Jackson Dart is the real deal. Week 10 at Chicago. Can you believe it? Back-to-back wins. Believe it, because Jackson Dart looks raw, but he is electric. He makes throws that Russell Wilson just can't make anymore, and the locker room is shifting. Jackson Dart puts some respect on his name. And then week 11, back at home, the crowd is now behind them. The Lambeau legend, Jordan Love, comes to the MetLife Stadium and gets shut down. 3 straight wins for Jackson Dart. Dayball suddenly looks like a genius for making the switch, and bada bing, bada boom, his job's probably saved. But week number 12, they travel to Detroit to take on the Lions. The Lions bring the heat. Rookie mistakes from Jackson Hart. The Detroit Lions are just too disciplined, but the progress is real. Jackson Dart is looking like an elite quarterback. Week 13, they're back on the road, take on the New England Patriots. Cold weather, rookie versus Mike Vrabel. Yeah, it doesn't matter. They get the dub over the New England Patriots. Jackson Dart handles it better than expected. Smart game plan, and the defense steals this one late. So, guys, as of right now, heading into the bye week, they're sitting at 6-7. This team was left for dead just a few weeks ago. But with Jackson Dart in the mix, there's a real belief yet again. The locker room is starting to play hard. Dayball might be coaching for his job each and every week, but he's not done yet. So week 14 is the bye week, and then week 15, they're back at home, take on the Washington Commanders. This is a win. Revenge, the defense shuts down Jayden Daniels, and Jackson Dart outduels him in the second half with the signature win. But then week 16, at home, the letdown game. Jackson Dart tries to do too much, and the Vikings capitalize with the turnovers and a grind out a road win. But then week 17, cross-country road trip to Vegas to take on the Raiders. Jackson Dart doesn't flinch. The offense follows, the defense makes big stops, and they get the win over the Las Vegas Raiders. But then week 18, season finale, they do lose to the Dallas Cowboys. Playoff positioning on the line for them, and the Giants just don't have the depth. So, guys, I do have the Giants finishing 8-9, 3-3 in the division. This is exactly what I predicted back in June, but not all how I thought we would get there. Russell Wilson does start the season, but Jackson Dart finishes it. And if you ask me, that's the best case scenario. So, guys, Make no mistake, Jackson Dart is the future, and the sooner the Giants go in on him, the faster they will become relevant. So, guys, in the comments below, should Jackson Dart start week 1, or should they wait till the season spirals out of control? Subscribe, hit the like button, guys. Remember, we're live Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time. Derek says 9 to 12 is the whole Waffle House. Get out of here. Sadie said Giants 8-9. Sadie, we on the same page. Let's go, baby. Alpha Rob says 7-10, and they fired Dayball. Things begin. If the Giants have a losing season, Dayball's out 100%. And if Dayball's out, Jackson Dart will be on a short leash, kind of like Justin Fields in Chicago. Sadie says Mahomes will pick apart the Giants' defense. And Sadie, I assume you are a Chiefs fan. You had the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. However, I do think the Kansas City Chiefs will start slow. We spoke on them last Thursday, guys, if I'm not mistaken. I had them starting off 0-3. Honestly, losing to the Chargers in Brazil, losing to the Eagles, and losing to the Giants. And this is the best case scenario for the Kansas City Chiefs, starting off 0-3, 1-3. Pressure's off. Go out there and play football. Have some fun. We'll see. The Giants' defense is very much slept on. Derek says, in the Bears game, Williams still in at quarterback. Yes, Caleb Williams is no question about getting benched ever in Chicago. Because who are you going to put in there? Taysom Bagent? Or is it, Taysom Bagent? Like, no. Caleb Williams is the quarterback in Chicago. No question about it. Case Keenum's not it. Austin Reed isn't it. Teddy Bridgewater isn't it. Yes, I know Teddy Bridgewater just signed with the Buccaneers today, but he is not it. So don't get crazy. Do not get crazy. But it is time for buy or sell. All right, guys. So buy or sell is very, very simple. We go across the NFL landscape. Matter of fact, we're going to stay in the NFC East. We're going to stay in the NFC East. And if you guys like it, you understand what I'm saying, you with me, you're buying it. You're buying it, you want some more of it. But if you're saying, whoa, Buck, slow it down, you are absolutely crazy. We don't want none of that shit up in here. We're going to sell it. We're going to sell it. So, guys, buy or sell a NFC East edition. And we're going to start right there off the top, guys. We're going to start off with the man, the myth, the legend, Micah Parsons. So, guys, buy or sell. Micah Parsons makes the Cowboys better and will... Sorry, let me rephrase that. So, guys, buy or sell. Micah Parsons makes the Cowboys better and will instantly make whatever team trades to him better. Meaning the Dallas Cowboys will be better once they trade him away. Buy or sell. That's very poorly worded on that's my bad. I wrote it down. It sounded good in my head, but whatever. Buy or sell, guys. Do the Dallas Cowboys get better when they trade Micah Parsons? So, guys, let's not dance around it. This is one of the most overhyped players in football today. Parsons just requested a trade, and everyone's acting like it's the end of the world in Dallas. But here's what I've been saying for over a year now. The Dallas Cowboys need to move on from Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons doesn't make the Dallas Cowboys better. And most teams thinking of trading for him, you better be real sure that what you're getting, because it's not a franchise-saving defender. Let's just be honest. Guys, the overrated truth, Micah Parsons is a problem. Let's talk the facts. Micah Parsons has posted 52.5 sacks in his 63-game career. He's got the accolades. Defensive Rookie of the Year, 3-time All-Pro, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, finishes stat sheet, clean highlights, very, very flashy. But then it's money time. When the lights are on bright, where's he at? Playoffs, vanish. Run defense, weak. Physically inconsistent. This guy disappears when it matters the most. Dallas has been relying on him for way too long and has gotten them nowhere but early playoff exits and excuses. So let's entertain this madness. Say Dallas does trade him. Does he automatically make another team a contender? Here's a few teams that are in the mix to trade for Micah Parsons. The Buffalo Bills, they could use him. Defensive playmaker, they got some cap issues and no premium picks left. Would it help? Maybe it could fix their problems. No, it couldn't. Carolina Panthers, the worst defense in the league. Parsons would help, but one man isn't saving the rebuild. Let's just be honest. The Chicago Bears, a legit fit. Parsons next to Montez Sweat would be scary, but then again, UB Morgan's a future, and they still got Caleb Williams to pay here soon. Cleveland Browns, Parsons and Myles Garrett, unreal, but good luck affording it. With the Deshaun Watson's contract and Myles Garrett's contract, you're already dragging the cap of the basement, so that's not going to happen. Las Vegas Raiders, maybe the best financial fit. Max Crosby, Micah Parsons together would terrorize the AFC West, but the draft capital might be too steep. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're quiet contender. Parsons could push that defense over the top, but they can't afford him. It makes sense, but can they afford him? Washington Commanders, stop it. No way Jerry Jones sends Michael to Dan Quinn's in the division. It would never happen, and if it does, Jerry should retire that night. So, guys, here's a question for you. If you are the NFL GM, are you giving up multiple first rounds and resetting your salary cap for Micah Parsons, or is it just a highlight, or is it just the hype with the highlight tape? Guys, I am selling it. I am selling it. I've said for months, I've said for years, Micah Parsons does not make the Dallas Cowboys better. He's a splash player. He's not a cornerstone. Dallas Cowboys should trade him now while the hype is still hot. If you're building around Parsons, you're building around sand. He won't save your defense. He won't carry your team. He'll give you 12 sacks and then vanish when it matters the most. So, guys, hit the subscribe button and comment down below. Buy or sell? Should the Dallas Cowboys trade Micah Parsons? Sadie is buying it. Sadie says, get out of here. Derek says, the Browns can't afford shit. He's inconsistent. Facts. Preach, Sadie, preach. How do you defeat Micah Parsons? You run at him. He's not physical. He can't tackle in the open field, and he shies away from the running game. What is Micah Parsons great at? Pass rush. That's about it. There says buy. Oh, no, I mean sell. He needs to stay at Dallas. Alpha says he's not good against the run. Only hype because he's a Cowboy. Not wrong. Sadie says, I thought Myles Garrett wanted to be traded. We all did, Sadie. And then the Browns are like, we're not trading you, but here's $2,700 billion. Enjoy. That's what happened. Guys, next buy or sell. Next buy or sell of the day. Guys, buy or sell. The 49ers need to trade for Terry McLaurin right now. Right now. Bring the man to San Francisco and put the red and gold on him. Guys, the moment that Deebo Samuel left, the 49ers started scrambling. Washed up names, practice squad guys, a whole lot of players from players that Juwan Jennings or Ricky Parcell will magically turn into a number one receiver. But here we are in August, and the 49ers still haven't made a real move. Meanwhile, Scary Terry wants out of Washington. Contract drama, trade requests, and he's still producing 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons, 13 touchdowns last season alone. So the question is simple. Guys, do the 49ers make the call, or do they trust the process and roll with what they got? Guys, look. Let's look at the situation in San Francisco. Brandon Ayuk, torn ACL, MCL, and the meniscus. He may not be back until November. Juwan Jennings, calf injury. But we've seen this holding game before. He wants a contract or wants to be traded, but he's injured, right? Ricky, unproven, still might develop into a weapon, but he's not carrying an offense in his second year. And Deebo, guess what? He is gone. He went to Washington. Guys, this team is paper thin at wide receiver. Hell, they've signed, cut, and signed St. Brown twice already just this week. They try to plug the hole with the role players, but we're still talking about a team with Super Bowl expectations, a team that just paid Brock Purdy $265 million. This is not a time to experiment with the bargain bin receivers. So, Scary Terry has made it clear. He wants a new deal, and the Commanders haven't budged. They are smart. If they are smart, I should say, they will rework the contract for 2025 and flip him at the deadline or at the next offseason. But there's another route. If the 49ers could afford Juwan Jennings, who's in the same exact situation as Scary Terry, the problem is Jennings isn't worth nearly as much. If healthy, he gets Washington's attention, but let's just be real, he's not enough. Now, Ayuk, that's a different story. He was borderline elite before his injury. He's younger. He's close friends with Jayden Daniels, and the Commanders nearly traded him last season. The deal makes more sense for Washington, but the Niners are tight on money. They got nearly $100 million in dead cap, and they're planning to roll over $45 million into next season. Do they really want to take on a 30-year-old receiver with a big contract when just gave the quarterback a massive extension? Or would they rather keep Ayuk or cash him out and pair of picks and roll with Parcells on a rookie deal? Guys, here's the deal. I am selling it. The 49ers don't need a trade for Scary Terry right now. They need to trust the process. Injuries happen, contracts get messy, but rushing into a big money trade for a 30-year-old receiver just isn't the move when your window is still open for next year and beyond. The Commanders, they're the ones that need to act smart. Rework Terry McLaurin's deal. Keep him happy for at least one more season, and then trade him next offseason when his value peaks. You get a better deal, and you won't be moving him just to move him. San Francisco, stay patient, stay with Ricky. Ayuk will get healthy and spend your money smarter. So, guys, buy or sell. So the 49ers trade for Scary Terry. That is the question. City saying buy. Buy. Alfred says sell. Don't think Washington will trade him to their competition. Are the 49ers really their competition, though? Because I don't think the 49ers are the best team in the West. I think the Rams will represent the West. I think the Rams have a wider Super Bowl window than the 49ers. I don't know. It is tough sledding. What do you do? City says the Niners are going to have an elite defense. They should, but they got all their veterans are gone. All their veteran linebackers are gone. Dre and Fred Warner are both gone. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens at the end of the day. Oh, wrong button. Let's move on to Jalen Hurts, guys. Buy or sell. Jalen Hurts, guys, is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Guys, when you think of top 10 quarterbacks, you think of Josh Allen. You think of Joe Burrow. Think of Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott. Tua gets thrown in there, right? Brock Purdy gets thrown in there all the time. But, guys, there is no question about it. Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback. You can throw out all the stats, fantasy points, and analytics all you want at me, but there's the bottom line is, guys, Jalen Hurts wins football games. And at the end of the day, that's what matters most in the league. Look, Patrick Mahomes is the most accomplished quarterback in this generation. Super Bowl rings, multiple MVPs, the works. He's the golden standards. The talent is deep in the NFL. You got guys like Jayden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, all with unique skills and serious weapons. And the competition at the top is fierce heading into 2025. And if I were to rank the quarterbacks in my top 10, just throw some names out there. You got Dak Prescott, Jayden Daniels, Justin Herbert, Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and of course, Josh Allen. Guys, Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Hurts doesn't just move the ball, he moves the needle. He elevates the entire Eagles team. He's a game manager, a leader, and a consistent threat to run or throw the ball. That Super Bowl ring, it just wasn't luck. It was a product of a quarterback who makes the right plays when it counts. Guys, there is no question about it. Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback in the league. So, guys, of course I am buying it. Jalen Hurts is a top 10. Winning is everything. Stats and fantasy points should tell the whole story apart. Hurts has the talent, the intangibles, and the championship to back it up. If you don't see him as a top 10 quarterback, you are not watching football the right way. It is what it is at the end of the day. He's a top 10. We out.